Greetings viewers, EricTheCarGuy here. I have a 1998 Mazda 626 behind me where the, well, B-pipe we'll call it, just broke away from the flange and it has a very loud exhaust. So today I'm going to attempt to weld that up rather than buying new parts. And I hope I'm successful because it may give you some helpful information should you run into the same situation and happen to have access to a MIG welder. Why don't we get a look at what I'm trying to fix. Here is the issue. Right here behind the catalytic converter, the pipe has just gone away. And also I suspect a small leak here as well. But we're just trying to get my friend by for now. Also the muffler is not in the best of shape. But this is the source of our leak and the source of our problem. So this is what I'm going to try to fix. I'm going to start by cleaning everything up. In order to weld, you need a nice clean surface to work with. You know, I just noticed something. Looks like impact damage. I wonder if that might have had something to do with it. And it might have been just barely hanging on and whatever got hit took it the rest of the way. Interesting. Here's something I should mention before we really get into this. Anytime you do any welding on a car with a computer in it, you need to disconnect the negative battery cable. And I just noticed something on this one. This cable is broken. I'm gonna have to get my friend a replacement sooner rather than later. Gonna start with cleaning this pipe up with my wire wheel. I'm actually gonna use a different attachment for this side over here, but for now, I'm gonna be using this. The idea is to get everything down to bare metal. I'm gonna be using my face shield today. Anytime you're doing this kind of work, grinding, that type of thing, I've found this to be the best. Especially these little wire things tend to come flying off here and sometimes embed themselves in your clothing or your face. Not today. That part's done. I'm going to change my attachment. You can't weld rust. The cleaner the surface, the better. Now let's do the other part. Idea. I'm going to use this guy to prop the pipe up. I also switched over to a more aggressive end. Didn't seem to be getting as much rust off before. Now is every little speck of rust going away? Probably not. I think I've got enough of it though that I can work with it. Now I'm going to use this same support to bring it down in line here. Also want to see if I can force it to lean forward a little bit. Try to find some way to wedge this over so that I can get these things practically connected before I actually start to weld. Might have to hold it, tack it into place. That's what I'll probably end up doing. I'll probably hold it into place, tack it in a couple of spots, and then complete my welds. But at least it'll be supported at the proper height. Okay, I got my welding shirt on, the welding cart. I'm attaching my ground to this flange. It's close, it's relatively clean, and I'm gonna switch sides I'm gonna weld one side and then the other side. Like I said, I'm gonna tack it in place, and then I'll go through and do my finish welds. But for now, I just need to join these two things together. Now that I've got it tacked into place, the hardest part is going to be getting this top section here. And for that, I'm going to try to come in and just try to hit the top of this, and then I'm going to have to come in from the other side. That's going to be the most difficult part, is sealing that top portion. But I'm going to go as far as I can with this. I'm gonna keep bringing this bead up around to this top part here. Might be able to bring my wire speed up a little bit. It looked like it was kind of slow, and just a touch more in the arc volts. Just gonna run a bead around the outside of the thing and hope there aren't any holes, or any big enough that we can hear anyway. Anything's better than the giant hole we have now. Yeah, I think I got it. The weld got a lot better, as you can see, after I turned the arc volts up. They were down a little too low before, but once I had them in the right spot, it just came around. Now, like I said, getting towards that top was hard. Had to come in sort of from the back side and build up that way, but seemed to be happy right around 4-ish. But let's start it up and see how well I did. Okay, still that small exhaust leak on the top, and I'm not happy. I've figured something out though, duh. I'm just gonna undo the exhaust hangers and drop the exhaust down far enough to where I can get better access to the top of this, finish the weld. Hopefully that will seal the leak. Let's get some penetrating oil. The muffler's it's only gonna come down so far. So I'm not really worried about supporting the exhaust because it's actually gonna end up on this brace anyway, but I'm just gonna start at the back and work my way to the front until I have enough of these hangers loose to do something. Penetrating oil really helps. It's getting better already. And that's that limit that I talked about. It's resting on that rear cross member now. But I got just enough access to get to the top of this. Got to do a little cleaning again because it's been a little bit of time since it's been here originally when I welded it. First we clean, then we weld. I need another plan. That'll do. Yeah, I can just get up in here real nice. Okay, this is the only thing I can get up on the top of there to clean that area. So that's what I'm going to use. I think that'll work. Welding shirt, check. Welding gloves, check. Spinning the hat around, check. Now we ground. Probably should have cleaned this spot for the ground too. I think it'll be all right.
think I'm getting better at this.
Well, let's check to see if it leaks. Way better. Let's get those exhaust hangers hooked back up. So far, so good. Back in action. Ugly, but it's sealed. Cheaper than buying a new pipe. All right, well, welding exhaust parts, cheaper than buying new parts, but a little bit tricky. I've been getting better with the welder, dialing in the arc bolts. I think that second pass where I went and fixed the top of that tiny leak that was still there. I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out, that I could just drop the exhaust. Do that after you tack weld it into place, or like I did, just weld everything else and then drop it down and weld it that way. Hopefully it works out for you. And also, don't forget to disconnect the battery when you do your welding, especially with cars with computers. They can get fried, so you want to avoid that kind of thing. Anyway, if you have automotive questions, head over to EricTheCarGuy.com. Welcome video to tell you about the stuff we have there for you. Social networks, Google+, Facebook, Twitter, also Instagram. I close each of my videos. Be safe, have fun, stay dirty. See you next time.